Welcome. Today we're going to talk about a very polite term about children living in prison and if they should stay in there. In favor, we have,
Rebecca Garza.
Max Solis.
and against.
Gerardo Guerrero.
So let's begin. Rebecca, what can you tell us about this?
Well, so most of the reasons why children are in prison or they're living inside prison, like children younger than 5 years old, is mainly because their parent is basically a criminal and they just don't have anywhere else to go. These children really don't have a good enough place to live that is not the prison where their father or mother is standing. So I do agree that we should let children live in these prisons so that they can have a relative normal childhood with their parents.
And backing off of that, continuing, I would argue, continue to say that it's known that children need to be with their parents at a young age. And I feel as if it would be a very bad idea to have them separated from their families at such a young age and to live a childhood without their parents and without that, and with also with the absence of a father figure or a mother figure. The child can begin to develop some problems that can later on turn into bad problems that can maybe have them end up in jail in the future. So that's why I believe it's important for the children to be with their parents, even though the parents are in jail. And that's my argument.
That's an interesting point of view. Gerardo, what do you have to say about this?
About this, I think that although it's true that no kid should grow up without his family, without his parents, I think it's also important to note that prison or jail is no place for a kid to grow up. I don't think it's the correct surrounding for a kid to start learning about the world, to start developing role models of the people that are around him. There's not many good people in the prison. That's my opinion. So yeah.
And do you think that the children would be around the dangerous inmates, or would they be around mostly their parents?
I'm not sure, but given that their parents are themselves inmates, that's the influence they're getting. They are in that world, even if they are not in direct contact with other inmates other than their parents. They're still in the same atmosphere. I don't know if I'm being.
I mean, it is important to note that the children are not going to be in any special, like in this specific jail, they're going to be watched over and they're going to be in a really restrictive area where they can be monitored. And basically, there will be specialists to help if anything goes wrong.
Well, yeah, I think maybe a solution could be to for those kids to, at least during the sentence of their parents, to be with a foster family, to learn about other communities, to be in a safer environment, and have, although without their parents, a normal upbringing in a normal community, in a normal school.
And
The
how
only thing
would you
I
say
would
that you will... sorry. How was it that you would
the only thing
secure
I would
this?
continue, sorry, continue.
I mean, you had a good point, but the three of you, each one, have a very good point of view about. But I'm curious about this part of the foster families. How would you say that they will have a healthy home and safe?
Well, if the authorities make sure to have background checks on the foster families, I think that part of the process ensures that the kids will not go to any family or any household that may be even worse than prison.
The only thing I would see wrong with a children going into a foster family, depending the age of the child, when he's with the foster family, he can begin to develop habits that he may be noticing around the foster family that the original parents may not want the child to learn those habits and get into those habits. I feel like the parents would want to personally educate and control their kid by having the kid with them in the prison instead of having another family teaching the child things that the parents in the jail may not want them to be taught. That's the only thing I see wrong with the foster family.
That's not to mention the fact that it is the children of the parents, and it's not like you can take children away from their parents, especially in their most important years of their life. It is important to note that some jails have established special rooms and special security to make sure that the child can grow in a really respected place that is not necessarily a jail. So it's not like they're going to be in a really unsecure place.
I agree.
Well, I think that for kids that are in that very special situation, learning different manners, different ways of thinking, different cultures in a foster family is a small price to pay compared to what living in a prison would be, I think.
Something that the kid could learn from the prison, he could always start getting habits about he could start getting into good habits about realizing where you can go in life if you make bad decisions. And sometimes the foster family, I feel like the foster family would completely try to completely blind the child and not show them anything that has to do with the prison in order to set a good example. But I feel as if it would be beneficial for the child to be in an environment like that because of the life lessons they could learn along the way, and they could learn very much a lot of things about how stealing is wrong, how crime is wrong, how robbery is wrong. And like I said, in a foster home, I don't think they would be able to learn these type of lessons in a home like that. And I think it could be beneficial for a child to learn lessons like that at such a young age.
Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. I don't think I have anything else to add other than what I've already said.
You could also say that having the parents in the prison, this can help the child with separation anxiety also, because it happens a lot when kids are separated from their parents at such a young age. They begin to develop separation anxiety, and this can ultimately lead to mental problems that can later turn into worse things in the future. That's why I feel like it's also necessary for the child to be with their parents at such a young age, no matter the situation and no matter the place.
It's a very good point about how kids will get close to their own families. What if they are in a foster family and they start to get in touch with them and don't recognize their family? That's a very good point to take. So, Gerardo, you have something else to say?
I think that's my final statement.
Yeah, this side also agrees. It's final statement.
Okay, but well, as you can see with this, we can finally see two different points of view about how children should be raised by their own parents, and what part they should be dealing with. Because sometimes even when we thought that foster family could do a good thing, maybe it could cause many other problems. But I guess that depends on the situation. So with this debate conclude, and thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Perfecto.